Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a review on, I'm going to be doing a comparison video on my tec.bean gaming keyboard that I got for around £16, which is about $20, and my Razer Blackwidow Elite, which was £147, which rounds up to about $180 maybe, I don't know, do the maths. I've used this keyboard for quite a few months. I used it just, as a starting gaming keyboard, because I used to have a old, I think it was like a Dell keyboard, which it did well for me, but not for gaming necessarily, because I was very new to keyboard gaming, because I have not actually been playing keyboard and mouse that long. I've actually been playing keyboard and mouse for around a year, and I still haven't actually got used to it, because it's a very hard concept to grasp, since I have been using a controller for my whole life. So let's actually get into it. So, first we're going to start off with the cheaper keyboard first. So this right here is the tec.bean, and I know it's upside down. I'll try and flip it around here. So this keyboard has done me very well, especially in the start of my keyboard and mouse career. I used this. It was quite a nice keyboard. Now they are obviously rubber dome switches, since it's quite hard to find a cheap mechanical keyboard. It's a mechanical feel keyboard, and it's very well built. But there are some flaws. Now, I love the concept of RGB. I love it. RGB does not make your games run faster, but it is beautiful. So, this isn't RGB. Now, this is a kind of RGB look, and it is not very bright, since not all the keys are individually lit, which isn't very good. So, the keys are, I think they're PBT. They are like very cheap plastic. Now, the actual keys, obviously, since they're just rubber domes, they don't feel like anything special. But the actual keyboard itself is actually very well built. So normally on keyboard you get a lot of deck flex. On this keyboard, minimal deck flex, especially for a membrane plastic keyboard. So let's actually take a look at the features this has. Now it does not have RGB. But it does have a few things you can change. So you can change this to a breathing mode. This is FN and the bright thing, but that's the only actual effect besides turning down the brightness and turning it up. So there's not much you can do there, but it is nice for aesthetic reasons. And this keyboard was definitely very good for my first ever keyboard. Now, the funny thing is, I can actually play games better on this than I can on this. But I think that's predominantly because I have been using a membrane keyboard all my life during school, or just during using this, or the other keyboard I had before, which was a very old and dead, broken. So it wasn't broken. It was just dirty. So obviously the differences are uncanny. It's hard to get these keys off, but I'll try. They did come with a keycap puller. I've just lost it. There we go. So it is just a standard rubber dome key and a rubber dome. There. Rubber domes aren't actually that bad. I've actually had a very good gaming experience with this, especially for the price it was. But let's actually compare the switches. So these are obviously, as I said, they are rubber dome keys. These have their own special keys. These have Razer green switches. Now this is the Razer Blackwidow 2018, I think. And as you can see, there is a big difference between these two keys. Now the Razer key feels more high quality, and this one feels very cheap plastic. So the major difference is this is a double shot PBT, and these just have a basic just slide in, whatever. These are actually very uncomfortable. The keys on this were very uncomfortable to use, but the ones on this are very nice to use. So let's look at the major differences between typing. These have, let me actually go see. This is the box. The key actuation point is a 1.9 and 0.4 actuation point. The actuation point versus the reset point is 0 mm. The lifespan is 80 million keystrokes. The actuation force is 50 grams, and it's a tactile and clicky switch. So I've always been a Razer fan. I love Razer. I actually have the Razer Black Mamba Elite, which I will probably be doing a review on. I cannot compare it. I could probably try and get my old mouse, because my old mouse is actually broken. Well, it's not. Well, it is. It works. Just I think it's the aim-in. Oh, the aim-in thing just doesn't work, because I got really mad and slammed it, and the actual the plastic that sticks out to actually click the thing, like to actually click the switch, broke. So let's actually compare sounds. Now this has quite a tactile. The membrane keyboard has quite a tactile click, but it's quite kind of like dampened down a bit, like if you put O-rings on this. So let's go and listen to membrane keyboard. It's very quiet. Now, as you can see, it's quite a damp, but noticeable, like kind of like tactile sound. But if we go and compare to the Razer Blackwidow Elite with the Razer Green tactile and clicky switches, it's very, very different. So. So you can see that they are very tactile and clicky, obviously, as it says in the name of the actual switch. What can this also do? Now this keyboard has a gaming Windows key. I'm sorry, there's noises outside. Let me just close my door properly. Now since this keyboard actually comes with a wrist rest, which is very comfortable. I don't actually recommend using it. I do recommend using it if you're doing casual gaming, but if you're doing competitive gaming, it is better to, use this kind of without the thing, because if you're not used to using a wrist rest, it can be very, very bad for you. So now if we actually take a look at like the sides and stuff, it actually has a USB port on the side and an audio jack on the side. So what can these keyboards actually do? So they have a num lock, a scroll lock, a caps lock, and a gaming mode. What is a gaming mode? It basically just disables the Windows key, so I can't use it anymore. So it doesn't work. So what other things can it do? It can change the brightness, but there is actually full RGB. Each individual key is backlit. But not backlit. It has like an RGB light. So the only thing is, I actually don't have a PC, but I do have a Raspberry Pi that runs Linux. But my Linux version won't support OpenRazer and polychromatic or something, whatever it's called. So I cannot actually use RGB, but I will try and fix that in the future. But there is a major difference between the two. Now, what would I recommend as a starting keyboard? The membrane one, 100%. The membrane one has done me wonders, especially for how long I've had it. And yeah. So another difference is, these don't have media keys, but this does. This has a volume scroll, a pause button, or pause and play button, a back and a forward, like a go back or forward, whatever. It's a very helpful thing, but you can actually map it to whatever you want. So if you want to use it for like opening certain files, or you want to use it for anything like that, you can basically do whatever you want with it. You can see change each individual key to do whatever, since it is a mechanical keyboard. Now with this keyboard you cannot do that because it's membrane, and there is no drivers that come with this. I don't think, which is quite annoying, since it would be good to be able to get RGB lighting, but clearly you can't.